What is up, guys? Vince Badcliffe here. We are doing an interview with some of my students here today to ask some of the many highly desired questions that they have been wanting to ask for this entire school year. So I figured we would do an interview, and no better time than right after I just released my first project, my EP, which is Turtle Years. So they're going to be asking some questions that have been on their minds. I'm going to give the best answers that I can, and we will go from there. So here we go. Whenever you guys are ready, we got a group behind the camera ready to ask some questions. So this is the first official Fence Badcliffe interview, so it's going to be an interesting one. Whatever you guys got, whatever's on your mind, yes, ask away. So go ahead, hit me with your best shot. Yes.
Excuse
Rami.
me, Mr. Fence. When are you gonna do jumping jacks with Jack Black?
When am I going to do jumping jacks with Jack Black? That's a great question. So for those of you who are not filled in, I've been doing a series on TikTok for where I've been doing jumping jacks every single day. It's been over a year now, well over a year. Every day until Jack Black makes a song with me. And my students have been a big part of that, filming, doing jumping jacks with me at some points. Jack has not responded yet or, made contact, but I think it'll be any day now until Jack Black makes that song with me and we can put it out for all of you. Yes, in the back.
A good way to start, what inspired you to start making music?
Inspired me to start making music? That's a great question. So, growing up, I didn't play too many instruments until I hit maybe your guys' age of middle school. So, what really got me going was, I think, my parents playing music all the time, and I loved that classic rock. So I was always a listener of music, and I always played instruments throughout time. But just this past year, I decided, to start actually making music, producing, writing, making all the different sounds that you guys hear today in my new EP there. So I think over time that's kind of cultivated, and I really just wanted to share my love for music with the world and my sounds with you guys. Yes, Dale.
What inspired you to make Turtle Years?
What inspired me to make Turtle Years? That's a great question. So, Turtle Years, I probably started it over a year ago, when the first songs were in the making. It's been a long time coming. Like I said, I wanted to share my passion and my ideas and my sounds with all of you guys. So when it came to making it, and putting all of those into these different songs in this one collection, I just wanted to share it. I was having a lot of fun enjoying making these songs, and I just wanted to share it with not only my students but everyone else who's listened so far. So it's been awesome so far. Yes, Nathaniel.
How long does it take you to make each song?
How long does it take to make each song? I feel like I get this question all the time from you guys. Each one is different, and when it comes to actually making the song, sometimes I'll write it within a day. It'll be a day, and usually I just start me and an acoustic guitar. But the process of, throwing every single instrument into the song, producing that all and having that finished product, it can take, I would say normally it's a few weeks to a month it'll take me to do all of that. It takes a long time. But some songs, it takes me a while to figure them out. Like Moscato in Colorado, that one I started around the same time as Cotton Candy Sky. So it took me maybe like over a year to finally figure out some parts and bring it to different people and talk about it, get their opinions, and put that out. So it really varies, but it does take more time than you guys think. Yeah, Rami.
El Senor. What is the most commonly most people's favorite song?
What is most people's favorite song?
Yes,
so off of Turtle Years, we kind of had a couple, people rank my songs in class and give their votes for best song. I think the common theme that I saw for the songs that you guys really liked were my most current ones. So Moscato in Colorado and The Land of Silk and Money is what you guys really liked. But also I feel like everyone has different preferences. So whoever I talk to, whether it's students or other listeners or friends, it's always a different answer for what song is their favorite, which I think is what makes Turtle Years so great. Everyone has a different favorite song.
Obviously, there's only one correct answer, though.
Obviously, there's only one correct answer. What is your favorite song off of Turtle Years, Mr. Rami?
Land of Silk and the $.
The Land of Silk and Money. Okay.
Oh, yeah, money.
Yes, the Land of... Okay, awesome. What about you, Leo? What is your favorite song off Turtle Years? Let's hear from the audience real quick. I'd like to hear their personal
365.
favorites because they're all across the board here.
So far, probably my favorite one is Moscato in Colorado.
Moscato in Colorado.
It's just a vibey song. Really just hits better than your other songs.
Yes.
Thank you. Pal?
Personally, I like 365 because it speaks to me. You know what I mean?
360. I get it. Sadie in the back there, do you have a personal favorite off of Turtle Years? Do you have a favorite song?
Land of Silk and Money.
Land of Silk and Money. Mommy's clapping back there, one on his team. Nathaniel, do you got one? Land of Silk and Money? Yeah, I love that one too. And I have a special feature on that one as well if you guys listen to it. So, yes, next question, Mr. Jerry.
Talking about Land of Silk and Money, I was wondering what was the motivation and like inspiration to make it, because it just seems like a random song.
Money.
Yeah, right? It is kind of random. That one I actually wrote maybe 3 years ago. Originally, I had that title ready, The Land of Silk and Money, because I wanted it to be a play on words of the land of milk and honey, which is kind of
Yes.
like a religious thing almost, like a peaceful land that people want to go to. But I kind of took it a different direction with Silk and Money, talking about the things that most people want in this life is to just live comfortably,
Yeah,
you know,
like
with
so.
money and nice clothes. Yes, so I kind of threw that together, and that's the sound I went for as well. When you hear that beginning guitar, you know, finger picking throughout the song, that's what you hear. You know, I'm trying to give you that vision of wanting to be in a life where you have money and you're comfortable, and, you know, imagine what that would be like. And really just questioning what your life is worth. I think that's just the big thing with the Land of Silk and Money.
It's like
so,
silk milk.
no. No. Yes, Kevin.
They're
As a
branded?
musician, which artists and bands do you listen to and take the most inspiration from?
Which artists and bands did I listen to and take the most inspiration from? This is a great question because my background, I'm all over the place when it comes to listening to music. So I love classic rock, the Beatles, the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac. Those are like my top three in that kind of category, I'd say, that influenced me instrumentation-wise when it comes to playing my instruments. But I feel like I've tried to transition to a more modern sound as well. So Miley Cyrus I like to listen to today. Yeah, it surprises people, right? But people also say I give off like some Mac DeMarco vibes with some of my songs. So it's just, all my songs are a little different. You could tell each one has a different vibe. That's because of all my different influences. Yeah.
You are an 8th grade teacher, so do they know about your music, and who is your favorite student?
Okay, great question. Do students know about my music? Yes, they are. You guys are my biggest supporters, and I can't thank you enough for supporting my music and helping me with videos like this, you know, and just everything you guys have done along the way. Streaming the music. Some of you have gotten like merch or, you know, just helped me promote it, like making this sign. You know, it's you guys have been wonderful. So yes, students do know. They help me, and you guys are the bomb. Do I have a favorite student?
He's looking in front of you. He's looking at you.
I see some people raising their hands from behind the camera here, but you know, I think all of my students are all my favorites.
Yes,
You
that's
guys
a
are
lie.
all the best.
No. He has a green
I
Oakenlays
love you
hat.
all.
No
You
favorite
guys are all the
grades,
best.
that's a
He has a green and yellow Oakenlays hat.
All right, give me the next one, Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny,
What do you got for
Come
me?
on, Johnny.
Okay, what do you like better? The East Coast or the West Coast?
This is a great question. What do I like better, the East Coast or the West Coast? I've only been to the East Coast a few times. Chicago's actually in the Midwest
Have
is
you ever
where
been
I'm
to the
from.
West Coast?
Have I been to where?
West Coast?
To the West Coast? We are on the West Coast right now.
No, this is
We are living on the West Coast. So yeah, I'm out based in Los Angeles, California, where I do teach middle school here. I love it on the West Coast. I don't think it's really a competition in most aspects. West Coast is the best coast. There's a lot happening out here. I love, you know, the mountains, the beach, everything. The desert, it's so diverse. So I love it out here, and there's so many connections you can make too. Yes.
Where did the
Nathan.
wig come from?
Where did the wig come from? This is probably my most common question, and the one you guys are dying to know. I'm surprised.
It's real blue hair.
I'm surprised it took you this long to ask. You know, I was born with
Natural
blue
blue
hair.
hair.
I was 1 in 10 million people born
I saw
with
the comments.
blue hair, and it's a really rare genetic, you know, kind of, I wouldn't say disease. Oh, my Pokemon card. Vaporeon. No, but in all honesty, the wig. It was a creative decision before I even started, even making any music or putting it out there. Or it was about the same time. We decided, me and the team, that a wig might bring some spice to music, and just be different and it reminds me every time I put it on to not take music or anything in life seriously. I think that would be the key thing for the wig. I mean, it's definitely a statement, and I would say a majority of people out there wouldn't even think of wearing a wig. It's tough. It's tough to do. It's tough to wear out in public sometimes and be like, having everyone look at you. But I think it's fun. It adds a little bit of flavor to the music, and why not? That's my answer. Why not? Well, we have a lot of hands up. Let's go to Mr. Leonardo next.
Okay, so as someone who really likes rock and basically only listens to rock now, I was wondering what your favorite rock band is.
My favorite rock band. You know what, Leo? You give me your top three.
Ariana Grande.
Give me your top three favorite rock
All right.
bands, and I'll give you my top from that. How about
So
that?
I think my top is probably gonna be Avenged Sevenfold.
All right, so you're going heavy rock.
Yeah, and then second would maybe be the Eagles.
The Eagles,
And then third would probably be Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses, nice. Yeah, I think from those, and personally, I saw the Eagles a few years ago. I love their music. They have, especially the instruments in their music. They're using so many different guitar parts, which is what I love the most. I think the Eagles hit home for me, so I would say the Eagles. Yes, Miss.
On the topic of your musical persona, what made you think of the name Fence Badcliffe? Where did that come from?
I would say that's the other top question that's usually asked. What is Fence Badcliffe? Why nobody's ever heard of this name before. And I think just when it came to creating an artist name, just an artist in general, we looked at this idea of, we wanted to do something that nobody's ever heard of before. When it came to a look, when it comes to sound, in the songs, when it comes to the name. So we wanted to do a name that really stood out, and if you type it in Google, that's the only thing you will see. So if you type Fence Badcliffe, you're not going to find anything else. I'm going to be the one you're going to find. The name itself came from a good friend of mine. We may have done a play on words with his name, as well as just the idea of something simple. We wanted some type of word that would be simple, people would recognize, and it would just stand out. So fence. I think one day we were looking for a name, and we were just in the backyard. We saw a fence. We're fence sounds pretty good. So picket fence, chain fence, any type of fence. That is all me. That's where the name Fence Badcliffe comes from. There's still a little mystery there, though, because there is more meaning. So maybe if you talk to me in person someday, you will find out the true meaning of Fence Badcliffe. But that's just scratching the surface. Yes, Mr. Oakland A in the back.
I imagine you like the color light blue, so I have a question.
Okay,
What's
go
your
for it.
opinion of the Man City starting lineup of Ederson, Akaji, Ake, Diaz?
You know what, I
Walker,
can't
Rodri,
speak much
Gundogan,
upon that.
De Bruyne,
I'm not a-
Haaland,
I'm not the
Grealish,
biggest soccer fan,
And
but maybe you could talk to me about that later and get me the whole look.
are you guys?
I do like light blue, though. That's a good color.
I'm sub if it's
What else we got? We got time for maybe 3 more questions or so. We'll see what we can fit in. Our lunch bell's about to ring, and we're going to run out of time here.
Yeah.
Yes?
Do you have a personal favorite song off of Turtle Years?
This is a great question. A personal favorite song off of Turtle Years. If you guys listen to Turtle Years, like I mentioned earlier, each one is so different, and they've all come at different parts of my life and from different inspirations that it's really difficult to pick one favorite. I like each of them for different aspects. I think each of them does something the best differently. Looking at it just from the back objectively, music-wise, and meaning for me, I would just say Moscato and Colorado. If you listen to that one, the lyrics, all the instruments, it just means a lot to me. Not that they all don't, but I really love that one. And like I said, each one has a special place in my heart for a different reason. So if you listen to them, you'll find that out. Yeah, enough time. 2 more.
where did you get the idea to write the 365?
Where did I get the idea to write the 365? That's a great question, especially since you guys are such big fans of the 365. As you know, if you listen to the song, 365 are the 365 days in a year. And the main message there is to just live your life for those 365 days. Make sure each day counts. I just wanted to send that message through a song. And I thought that was a unique way of telling a story. You know, not falling into the same routine. If you listen to those lyrics, it's kind of just saying, live each day to the fullest. You know, do what you can with this life. That's what the 365 is all about. I think, last question.
If you could feature anyone in the song, who would it be?
If I could feature anyone in a song, I think my sisters, or my brother, or anyone from my family, or Jack Black. Those are my top people to feature in a song. Leo, enough time for the last question. What's our last question on there?
Literally the exact same thing he asked.
If you could say one thing to your listeners or anyone who watches this interview, what would it be?
One thing to my listeners, or anyone who's watched this, thank you. You guys have made me want to keep doing music every day. You know, it's been a pleasure to just make stuff and have people listen to it and, you know, give me all of these different types of feedback and love. I love you guys. Keep listening. I hope you get to listen to Turtle Years and find out more about my story. You guys are the best. Again, Turtle Years out now. I'm Fence Badcliffe, and our lunch is over, so you guys can go to class.